Nope. Alright, well, jokes aside, yeah, the answer is no. I would not advise summoning on the banner this weekend if that's what you've come to this video for, which I assume you have. So to go over what the banner is, why not to summon on it, and what to summon on instead, we shall start with the banner itself. So this banner has pretty much 3 main heroes available. We have the newly introduced KINEZA, the newly introduced KRIA, and Deimos. Deimos is your best hope for this banner, and if you don't have a Deimos already, it may actually be worth summoning on this banner just to get hold of a Deimos. Because KRIA is god-awful. I tested her quite a bit last night and she really sucks. And KINEZA is not bad. She's actually reasonable. But because she's a nightmare fighter and because she's a one-tile fighter, she doesn't have airborne capabilities. She doesn't really have much AoE capabilities. A very minor amount, I believe. She's going to be mainly used in Guild Boss. However, she does not do as much damage as the core Guild Boss heroes. You only have space for 3 fighters in Guild Boss in the range of Dolores. And she does not apply any debuffs nor buffs for her allies. So she doesn't cut the mustard. She's not good enough to take a position from Salazar, Zillatu, Arrogance, Deimos. The list is quite long. Valeria, really good fighters that she has to compete with. So I think she's not bad. She actually has some interesting niches. Her key stacks are cool. Her dodge mechanic is quite interesting. She has some armor pen even. But she's competing with some incredibly powerful fighters for a spot on a Guild Boss team. And she doesn't really do a lot for the gear raids. So I think she's just up against some incredibly tough competition. But isn't a bad hero. It's just the fighter pool is very saturated with incredibly strong fighters at the moment. So she's not really competing with them. She does okay damage. I have a pretty detailed video on her I will be releasing pretty soon. But yeah, the long and short of it is she's not fantastic. She's decent, but that's not good enough with the competition around at the moment. As for KRIA, she just sucks, like, a lot. So my first impressions way back when she was released on Forerunner, which is probably 5 months ago, I want to say now, maybe less. She has the highest base attack of all the mages in the game, which kind of gets you thinking, oh, that's pretty good, right? Well, her default attack is only 70% damage. Sure, it's 3 targets, but killing enemies is super important, especially for KRIA. So losing 30% base damage per enemy does suck. And then her ultimate is actually really pathetic. This is 100% AoE damage to 10 enemies. Max skill it's 130%. Sure, it hits 3 times. That's 390% damage. And the rage cap is fairly low, but it just results in not enough damage. You need a higher multiplier, really, as a mage to get stuff done. I won't go into the full detail of her kit, but I will tell you that I tested her quite extensively, I would say. In Gear Raid 1 Stage 19 overnight, I tested her in a really good set of gear with a Dolores, with an epic Curse Lord on her side, with an Autumn, with Laurel, with Eloin, and by herself in Stage 19, she was just atrocious. I tried Karma in the exact same situation. Karma absolutely flattened it. Identical gear, identical skill ups, identical awakenings, identical setup, everything the same. Karma was bored half the run because everything was dead. KRIA failed the run on the red oozes. I thought, okay, well, Karma is the GOAT, right? Karma is the DPS. So I did Vierna. Vierna, same story, kills everything. Sure, Vierna is very good. How about Lasir? Lasir doesn't kill everything, but he performs much better than KRIA. His actual damage output is way better than KRIA's was. So if you're not a fan of Lasir's damage, well, KRIA will disappoint you even more. The good thing about Lasir is he at least hits 5 enemies with his auto, whereas KRIA only hits 3. He also has a much better multiplier on his ultimate. Remember, I was just complaining about KRIA's like 390%. Well, for Lasir with max skill ups, it's 800%. He does have less attack than her for sure, but when your attack is as low as mages tend to be, you rely more on the bonus from Dolores. So I think that might be one of the reasons why her more attack isn't really resulting in that much difference. So yeah, I was actually able to kill stuff with Lasir. He did a pretty good job. You'll see in that test video when I get around to editing it, I do compare all the heroes in the same setup. So Lasir performed better than her. Zealous even performed better than her. I put him up against KRIA. He didn't do great, to be honest, but he did better, and the gear wasn't actually very good for Zealous either. Another problem is she cost 21. I will make a video going into KRIA in more detail. The long and short of it is I really don't like her, I don't rate her, I don't like her kit, and I'll complain about that a lot in a separate video. KINEZA I think is okay. She's decent, but she does need a Salazar. If you don't have a Salazar, then she's going to be worse than just kind of okay. She'll actually probably be bad. So I don't really think a lot of these two heroes. Deimos is very good. If you don't have a Deimos, he is quite hard to pull normally, and he's very good for guild boss. So that's something you could consider. But generally, my recommendation for this weekend is to go for the 1+1. On this Sunday through to Tuesday, I believe, because it says the 29th to the 31st, there is this surprise Invocation of Spirits. When you get a random legendary hero, you get another one for free. There's a bunch of reasons why I think this should be your focus to summon on this weekend. It is unfortunately the normal summon rate, so you only have 0.5% chance of getting a legendary on this banner. I think it's better than summoning on two quite bad heroes. I mean, KINEZA is not bad, but like KRIA is bad. The other thing is this will not include those two heroes. This surprise Invocation of Spirits will be the pull before they are introduced. So we don't really want to summon those heroes, in my opinion. We don't want to dilute our chances. So it's a win-win. If we summon on the 1+1, then we're not going to be getting KRIA, and we're not going to be getting KINEZA. We're more likely to get Arrogant, Zillatu, Salazar, or Vienna, or some really good mages, Lycia. Those are the guys we want to be pulling. So I think the surprise Invocation of Spirits is the way. That is my recommendation for this weekend. Pass on this banner unless you're really keen on a Deimos, and I get it, Deimos is good, but as soon as you can, do go for the 1+1. That is what I will be summoning on this weekend. Anyway, I will have the testing videos coming up on both of the heroes, but that will probably be the next day. So stay tuned if you're interested in that. Thank you guys very much for watching. I wish you luck with your summons. Have a great day. Take care, and bye-bye.